Hello, students. In today's lecture, we are going to see the concept of knowledge management. Now, what is knowledge and what is knowledge management? These two concepts we are going to see. Modern period is the knowledge era, and knowledge has become of too much importance in business and management. And this knowledge has now taken a form of intangible productive asset, and it is a powerful tool of transformation, reformation, and development. And therefore, every organization, either it is profit driven or non profit, one has to keenly maintain its concern for building, protecting, and expanding its knowledge management. It is a recent concept developed recently, and therefore we study it under modern management, and has become a vital area of operation for almost all organizations and institutions. This was a concept which was first it was put forward and analyzed and studied by Herbert St. Ong from Canada in 19th century. Later on, many of the professors from America and Japan studied this concept, and later on in 20th century it got acceptance, rather people all over the world came to know about it. And the concept became more popular when it was first time used in the company which was located in Sweden, where a designation named Chief Knowledge Officer, that is CKO, was created in the company, whose responsibility was to use human resource at its optimum. So this is the history of how knowledge management gained momentum and got recognition in the modern era, in the modern period. And then it was started rapidly, its use was started in the organization, or it was recognized as a new concept in modern management. Okay, so before we go for the concept of knowledge management and the definition, parameters, and the process, let us see what is the difference between knowledge, data, information. Okay, now generally what happens, these three terms are used interchangeably. They are considered as synonyms by many people, but actually these three terms are totally different, because many of the time it is we use the same word for data and information. Knowledge and information, they are interchangeably used. But what is data? Data are your raw facts which are unprocessed. Okay, and information is the processed and interpreted form of data. Okay, so certain processes, when you undertake certain kind of processes, you come up with information. And what is knowledge? Knowledge is personalized information, isn't it? When we say that this particular person is having lot of knowledge, that knowledge is the result of his personal touch, his personal intelligence in that a particular subject or area of expertise, isn't it? That time we call it as he's having good knowledge, he's a talented person or an intelligent person. So when you give a personalized touch to information, it gets converted into knowledge. Okay, so personalized information is knowledge, we can say. So these are the three different concepts which you have to know about it, because data will be converted into information and information will be further converted into knowledge. And knowledge management is important, where you have to consider data and information as well, isn't it? Therefore I explained this concept. Okay, then we are going to see what is knowledge management. Actually, this is the concept which is defined by experts as the process of capturing, developing, sharing, and effectively utilizing the organizational knowledge. So it deals with all aspects of knowledge. It gathers the existing knowledge and, if required, creates new knowledge as per the need of the organization. Got it? So gathering of knowledge is also important, as well as if you want to create new knowledge, some innovations, some developments you want to undertake in your own organization, then you can also do that. It gives a formal shape to knowledge. Okay, so it enhances the sharing of knowledge by providing access to knowledge and encourages its effective utilization by creating and developing the required support system, tools, and equipments. Okay, so actually, in the process of knowledge sharing, again, new knowledge may be created, developed, and organization can take place, and knowledge management process continues. So we can say that this knowledge management process is circulatory, expanding, and extensive. It is evolutionary as well as revolutionary. Okay, so we'll see the definition. The first one is KM is the process of capturing, developing. Capturing means getting the knowledge, developing, sharing, and effectively using the organizational knowledge. It refers to multidisciplinary approach to achieving organizational objectives by making best use of the knowledge. Okay, and the next one is it is a process which create value and to leverage, improve, and refine the firm's competencies and knowledge assets to meet organizational goals and targets. Okay, so whatever organizational targets are achieved, which are set, you can achieve those targets with the help of existing knowledge, or you can mm, um, develop the knowledge also. Okay, so now we are going to see what are the objectives of knowledge management. Of course, the objective consists of increasing the performance of human resource. Your performance of your employees should definitely increase when they make use of the knowledge. Okay, so knowledge has to be used for increasing the performance of its employees. Next is to make maximum benefit of competition. You have to beat the competition in the market, so you have to uh, from the existing knowledge you have to develop it in such a way, or if you want to develop a new knowledge you can do so, but ultimately it should be benefited by the existing competition existing in the market, right? Then next is to give impetus to innovation within the organization. Impetus means to give a boosting for innovation. So knowledge has to sharing of knowledge or acquisition of knowledge leads to innovation also sometimes. Okay, so whenever you're sharing something with someone, all of a sudden you may think about a new idea, and new knowledge creation may be possible, right? So it may lead to innovation, and this is what is expected in business organization. You have to keep on thinking about new things, innovations, innovative outlook, right? Because in modern management, modern managers are expected to do the things which are very unique, hatke, which we call, which are different from competitors. So knowledge should come up with certain kind of innovation, and therefore it is giving more boosting or impetus or more encouragement for innovation within the organization. So that is another objective of knowledge management. Next is to study the processes and human factor and increase its value. Of course, from by studying the existing processes and your employees, you have to increase their value by making more and more use of the existing knowledge, going for innovations, developing the existing knowledge. Next one is to acquire, create, and store knowledge as per the requirement of organization. Of course, knowledge has to be stored in proper manner. Proper folders have to be created in your softwares, and accordingly, whenever at a click of button you should get whatever information, whatever knowledge you are in requirement of, without wasting time. So you should store your knowledge in a very good manner. And last is to motivate the employees to share and use knowledge among each other. Of course, knowledge is a thing which is to be, it is said that if you share it, it will increase, right? So whatever you know, whatever knowledge you are having, you should not keep it with yourself. You should not be that much selfish, right? So you should keep on sharing the things with other, because as I said, sharing of knowledge may lead to innovation also, isn't it? So it there are chances that you can come up with new ideas, innovations when you keep on sharing your knowledge with each other. Then next is to create a group of knowledge workers in the organization. Okay, gone are the days when people were called as employees. Now people are employees are called as knowledge workers. Okay, so you want to create a group of knowledge workers who are having a desire to acquire knowledge, create knowledge, develop knowledge, and share knowledge. So you want to create such pool of workers, such pool of employees in your organization. Next is to develop learning process consistently in the organization, right? In modern management, we saw one of the challenge in the beginning of the first unit, that lifelong learning, right? So lifelong learning is required in today's modern management, where you should have that attitude of learning continuously. You should never say that now I'm working I'm a senior citizen, for example, or I've crossed age 50, now I can't learn new things. It's not like that. Those things have become outdated nowadays. Now in modern management, you have to have that attitude, positive attitude, optimistic attitude, where you should be eager to learn new things. And then next is to make improvement in various process and structures in organization. You should consistently situate that you're making improvements in your existing processes and structures. Processes means all kinds of process. It may be your production process, it may be your recruitment process, selection process, training process, any kind of all sorts of processes. You should think about improving them day by day, and because you want to enhance the quality of your organization, right? The next is to cooperate in achieving the objectives and goals of the organization. Of course, here it is expected that you should keep on acquiring new knowledge, share with your colleagues, your subordinates, and help them, cooperate them in achieving their objectives and goals of the organization. Next is to enable an organization to become powerful. Okay, so of course knowledge has become powerful, and the organization who is having good knowledge base, you can say good knowledge workers, pool of workers we can call, definitely that organization is termed to be a powerful organization. So you want to create an organization as a powerful entity, and for that what you need to do is you have to keep on acquiring new knowledge, develop the existing one, and create new knowledge. Okay, and next is to develop value based work culture in the organization. You have to create such a work culture in organization where values are more important. Value based people believe in values, principles, ethics. A good ethical moral culture, work culture, has to be developed in the organization, where people are eager to get new knowledge and develop the existing knowledge and acquire new knowledge, we can call. Okay, now we are going to see what is the process of knowledge management. Okay, so process consists of 5 step. It is a 5 steps process, where the first is identification of needs. Now first thing which you have to find out is that what kind of knowledge is required in your organization, and for deciding this, the needs which are to be decided, you have to consider the factors like what kind of products are produced in the organization, the market in which you are dealing, which are the customers who are going to purchase your product or who are your existing customers, what kind of technology we are using for production purpose, what is the state of internal environment in the organization, what is the mentality of your human resource, and what are the policies of HR. These are the factors which are to be required before you identify the needs of the organization. Okay, so once you understand the need of the organization, then it becomes easy for you to collect the knowledge according to the needs. Okay, therefore this process is very important. You have to identify the needs according, as I said, that the factors, these factors have to be considered, which your customers, your market, your competition, your competitive strength, all these factors have to be considered, and then you have to identify that what kind of knowledge is required in our organization. Okay, so this process or this step has to be flawless. Okay, because on basis of this only the other four steps are going to take place. Then the next one is identification of knowledge resources or sources, we can say. Now once you know that your once you have found out that which kind of needs are required, okay, for your organization, then you can go for identifying the sources. Right now these sources may be internal or it may be external also, but you have to identify that from where you can get the knowledge of these needs, whatever needs can be satisfied, from where you can collect the information. Okay, and whether they are internal sources or external sources, and these sources have to be very reliable, and you should see to it that you get that knowledge from these sources at your earliest. Next one is acquisition and creation of knowledge. Okay, once you find out the sources of knowledge, then it becomes easy for you to acquire the knowledge. Okay, so before acquiring the information has to be collected about the human resource, the processes, then the structure, and then the technology, isn't it, all those factors which are going to affect your organization. Okay, so on basis of this information, analysis is undertaken and required knowledge is being acquired. Okay, and then from external environment also, so from factors of external environment also, you can get more and more knowledge, and from that knowledge can be also created. Okay, so more focus is on creating knowledge in the internal environment. Okay, and whatever knowledge is not of any use to the organization, or you can call it as useless, then that knowledge is being deleted. Okay, and whatever knowledge is being acquired, it has to be stored very well. Next one is then the fourth step is application and sharing of knowledge. As I said, because of sharing of knowledge, what happens, your knowledge increases when you share it, or there are chances that new knowledge can be created because of sharing. Therefore, this is the most important step in process of knowledge management. Okay, then and your performance of your employees depends upon what kind of knowledge they are using for doing their day to day work. Okay, and for this it is important that you should keep on sharing whatever knowledge you are giving, keep on discussing the things with your colleagues, with your subordinate. And for this the policy of top management has to be very open policy. They should they should be eager to share whatever knowledge they are having with their employees, so that your employees can do their work in a better manner. If you are getting all kind of knowledge, all kind of information, all kind of data required to do your work, then that has to be provided by the top management. And because of this, what happened, when you get the required knowledge, your confidence increases, and you start taking, you means the employees start taking initiative in doing the organizational work. Okay, so sharing and application of knowledge is very important. And the last part is storage of knowledge. Okay, so storage, as I said, storage is very important. Not only acquiring the knowledge, but you have to store them in proper folders, in proper system. That means whatever software your people are using, you have to store that knowledge carefully, because that knowledge can has to be used if it is required in future also. It is not having one time use, it is to be used again and again. And therefore what is required is that you have to store it in a proper manner. You should give the folders proper name, sub name, titles have to be given, so at a click of button whatever information is required, you can get it at a click of button. Okay, so storage of knowledge is also equally important. So this is the process of knowledge management. And then parameters of knowledge management. So these are the factors which have effect on knowledge management. Okay, so the first one is people at work. Of course, knowledge is related to people only. Machines don't have any knowledge, isn't it? So people use those machines with the help of their brains. they make use of their knowledge, and then they use the technology, isn't it? So people at work play a very important factor, because people or employees are the only people who are going to acquire knowledge, store them, distribute it, share it, and achieve the objectives of the organization. Okay, and as I said that knowledge management is required to improve the performance of your employees, isn't it? So that is the main objective of knowledge management. Okay, so knowledge management is having a very close association with human resource. Okay, because without human resource you can't create, collect knowledge and share knowledge. Then the next part is next parameter is process. Of course, whatever process you are having in your organizations, policies, process and procedures, maybe your recruitment process, selection process, production process, all steps of process are considered here. Okay, so when an employee undertakes the process, so for example, he's working on the production process. Whenever he works on the production process, he makes use of his knowledge, right? So this knowledge, whenever he applies his knowledge, the production process gets completed, isn't it? So he's making use of knowledge for completing the process and for achieving the objectives of the organization. Okay, so employees have to make use of his knowledge to carry out his day-to-day work or day-to-day processes and procedures properly, efficiently, we can call it as. Okay, next is structures. Structures means the organizational structure. Okay, to keep your organization going on smooth working of the organization, what do you do? Organization is a structure where you have clearly mentioned how many people are working in your organization, who is your boss, who are your subordinates, everything, isn't it? So it gives you a clear cut idea about superior subordinate relationship. Okay, so structures play important role in using the knowledge and sharing the knowledge. Okay, and for sharing purpose you have to create different organizational structure, so that knowledge gets circulated among your people. Next point is your technology. So of course, if the organization is making use of advanced technology, latest technology which has introduced in the market, then definitely to make use of that technology you require knowledge, right? So you have to see to it that your knowledge is being fully utilized for full optimum utilization of technology. Okay, and development, I mean the value of technology will only increase when your people are going to make use of that technology by making use of its knowledge. Okay, and the last part is that work culture. Okay, so actually work culture is a very important part of knowledge management. Because you have to create a very dedicative, then dynamic, value based work culture in your organization. And to develop such kind of work culture, to retain it, is a very big challenge in front of management. And therefore this is the main this is the main objective of knowledge management, is to create such kind of work culture where your people are eager to acquire knowledge, develop the existing one, and create new knowledge also. Okay, so these are the parameters of knowledge management. Okay, so with this we end our lecture. Thank you.